haunted school, Fanchuching High School, was nestled in a remote countryside, surrounded by endless rice paddies and whispering bamboo groves. Constructed during the French colonial era, the school's red brick walls were now covered in moss, its clay-tiled roof sagging, and its wooden doors creaking with termites every time someone touched them. Stories claimed it had once been a field hospital during wartime, where hundreds lost their lives to bombs and bullets. Since then, rumors of the haunted school never faded. Despite that, students still attended daily. Classes were held, lessons taught, exams administered, just like any normal school. But one rule remained unspoken and strictly observed. No one stayed after 5 p.m. That year, Class 11A3 had a new transfer student named Hung. His family had relocated from the city to this rural area for his father's job. Hung was a smart kid, quiet, reserved, but oddly intrigued by horror tales. On his first day, when he overheard classmates murmuring about the haunted school, he didn't bat an eye. He even chuckled. "Ghosts? That's just nonsense. You guys are way too superstitious." The class exchanged glances. Tuan, the class troublemaker, smacked Hung's shoulder and said, "So brave, huh? Why don't you stay after 5? Think you can handle that?" Hung smirked. "Why not? How about tonight?" That evening, as the sun sank behind the trees and the sky turned a muted orange, Hung stood before the school's main gate, holding his phone and a small flashlight. He had told his parents he was staying at a friend's house for a group project. The truth, he came to prove a point. Tuan and a few others had followed him to the gate. None dared enter, but they lingered for a bit, shouting dares and encouragements. "You sure about this?" Tuan asked, trying to sound playful, but clearly uneasy. Hung gave a thumbs up and pushed the rusty iron gate open. It groaned loudly, the sound echoing through the emptiness. The courtyard was unnaturally still. Shadows clung to the building edges like thick veils of black. "See you in the morning, Ghostbuster," Tuan called, forcing a laugh before jogging away. Hung stepped into the schoolyard. It felt different. The air was heavier, colder, even though the sun had just set. He passed the old banyan tree in the yard's center. Its roots sprawled across the ground like a snake's coils. Nearby, a rusted swing creaked gently, though no wind stirred. The classroom windows stared blankly back like hollow eyes. "I'm not scared," he whispered, heading for his classroom, 11A3. The door groaned as he pushed it open. Darkness greeted him, the desks mere shadows in the dim. He flicked on his flashlight and scanned the room. Everything seemed normal, except the blackboard. Someone had written on it, in jagged white chalk, "Get out now!" Hung stared. His first instinct was to laugh, a prank surely. Probably Tuan sneaked back in and did it. But as he approached, the temperature suddenly dropped. His breath fogged the air. The flashlight flickered. Then came a sound, a soft, scraping noise, like fingernails scratching wood. He turned. The sound came from the back near the supply closet. The door was slightly ajar. Hung hesitated. His heart thudded faster, doubt creeping in. He inhaled deeply and moved toward the closet. The scratching stopped. Silence swallowed everything. Then, without warning, the door creaked open a bit more. Tightening his grip on the flashlight, Hung yanked the door wide. Nothing. Just shelves coated in dust, filled with old notebooks, broken rulers, and forgotten brooms. He exhaled. Maybe a rat. Maybe his imagination. Still, something didn't feel right. He decided to leave the room and explore the rest of the building. If he could record a video walking through the school at night, he'd prove there was nothing to fear. He stepped into the hallway. Floorboards creaked beneath his feet. One old fluorescent light above flickered weakly. Hung turned left toward the science wing, the school's oldest part. As he walked, the air thickened again. The cold crept over his skin. Then a sound made him freeze. Footsteps. Wet, dragging footsteps, as if someone with bare feet was walking slowly across the tiles toward him. Hung instinctively shut off his flashlight and ducked into the nearest classroom, crouching beneath a desk. The footsteps approached. Slap, drag, slap, drag. Then they stopped, just outside the door. Hung clenched his teeth, paralyzed. The door creaked open. A figure stepped in, lit by moonlight. A girl. She wore a white owl dye, stained dark with mud, or something worse. Her long black hair hung straight over her face, her arms dangled limply. Water dripped from her soaked sleeves. Hung's heart pounded. She drifted to the teacher's desk, head tilted as if listening. Then, she spoke. The voice was inhuman. Guttural. Broken, like a smashed tape recorder forced to play. "W.A.R. Eyes, am I, book? Hung froze. The girl turned her head. A pale eye peeked from under her hair. She sniffed the air and turned toward his hiding place. Hung's lungs burned, but he didn't move. Her footsteps were silent now. Only the dripping water marked her advance. She stopped, inches away. Hung shut his eyes tight, praying she wouldn't see him. Seconds passed. Then the cold disappeared. Hung opened one eye. She was gone. The room empty. He crawled out, shaking. Sweat ran down his back despite the chill. He turned on his flashlight and almost dropped it. On the blackboard, in long, wet red letters, "You shouldn't be here." Hung ran, down the hallway, past stairwells, the library, his shoes pounding the floorboards. He didn't care about bravery. He just wanted out. But the front door was locked. He yanked and pulled. Nothing. He banged, screaming, "Help somebody!" Silence. Then a whisper. Hung. He spun around. No one. Lights in the hallway flickered, one by one. Darkness closed in like a tide. Then laughter. Children's laughter. High-pitched, echoing. Not joyful, mocking. Hung bolted to the teacher's lounge. He slammed the door, locked it, shoved a chair under the handle. The room stank of mold, filled with broken furniture. He sank to the floor, gasping. Then he noticed something. A cabinet in the corner, spotless, no dust, no rust, as if someone had cleaned it. Curious or desperate, he opened it. Inside, a single notebook, a torn student diary. Neat handwriting on the cover. Ngok Mai, Class 10A1. Hung flipped through it. At first, normal entries, school notes, flower sketches. Then it changed. They locked me in the closet again. I told them about the voices. They laughed. She came again last night, the girl with the wet dress. She asked for her book. I think she wants me to find it. Final entry, jagged and shaky. If anyone finds this, don't stay here after dark. She watches, she waits, and when the bell rings, she takes you. Just then, the school bell, silent for decades, let out a deafening clang. It echoed like a death knell. Hung's ears rang. He dropped the diary. The temperature plunged. Frost crept over the windows. Then footsteps, everywhere, above, below, in the hallway. Laughter, whispers, humming. A girl's voice sang, "Mười giờ đêm, chuông vang lên, một người đi, chẳng quay về." 10 o'clock, the bell shall ring, one shall go and not return. Hung shivered. The door rattled. Bang! Bang! Something wanted in. He backed up, shoulder hit the window. He grabbed a chair leg and smashed the glass. Cold air burst in. He climbed out, cutting his arm on rusted metal. Blood dripped, but he didn't stop. He landed in the courtyard. Fog blanketed the schoolyard. It looked wrong. The banyan tree had grown, its roots stretched unnaturally. The trunk charred black, and hanging from a branch, a girl. A pale figure in a white ao dye, swaying gently. Head tilted forward, hair covering her face. Then she snapped her head up, white, empty eyes. Her mouth opened, and she screamed. Not human. A howl of rage, sorrow, something ancient. It shattered the air. Hung ran, into the fog, toward the back. He stumbled into the library. Dust floated in his flashlight's beam. Mold choked the air. He locked the door, then noticed books had been pulled out in a trail, like someone searching. He followed them to the archive door, slightly open. Inside, a long-abandoned nook. On a table in moonlight, a book, bound in black leather. No title, just a strange eye symbol. He opened it. Every page repeated one phrase. I see you. Final page, a child's hand. Please, give it back. She won't leave until she has her book. Behind him, creak, Hung turned. The girl stood in the doorway. Still, silent. She stepped forward. Hung clutched the black book. I found it, he whispered. This is it, right? She said nothing. Then she rasped, give it back. Hung held it out. She floated closer. Her fingers, pale, bloated, touched it. Lights burst. Wind howled. Books flew. Screams filled the room. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Then silence. She was gone. The black book lay open. Pages blank. Hung sat, shaking. Then picked it lighter. Empty. The air felt normal. The cold gone. He walked out. The front doors stood open. He didn't question it. He ran. The next morning, students returned. Hung sat at the gate, blankly staring. Tuan ran over. Dude, you okay? What happened? Hung looked at him, silent, then handed him the diary, Ngok Mai's. Later, the principal got an anonymous tip. They dug beneath the banyan tree. What they found shocked everyone. A skeleton, wrapped in a school uniform, clutching a ruined notebook, Ngok Mai's second diary. She had died there, locked in overnight by bullies, alone in the dark. And when something found her, something ancient, it never let her go, until now. Some say her spirit moved on. Others believe she still walks the halls, watching, waiting. protecting students from the evil that took her. But one thing remains certain: no one stays after 5 p.m. The end.